All right, good morning, Sejati. We are so happy to have you here. So everyone, Sejati is studying in JNU SIS. And Sejati, could you just take us through, where are you, what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm at home now. Online classes, they are a pain, but we are surviving. And so I am doing my master's. I'm in my final semester right now, and I'll be passing out very soon. I'm doing it from the SIS school and not the SSS. So JNU has two schools. SSS is the School of Social Sciences, and SIS is the School of International Studies. And I'm doing my master's from the International Studies School, and our center is known as Center for International Trade and Development. So my degree will be MA Economics with a specialization in World Economy.
Right. So how is the program like? Usually like what I did at DSE was MA Economics. So in terms of the program, in terms of the subjects that you study, what is the difference between what you are doing and say a general MA Eco course?
Okay, so there is only one course which is different, which is Balance of Payments course, which is not optional for us, it's a core for us. And there's an international trade course, which is also not an optional for us, but a core for us. Apart from that, I would say our syllabus is very similar to that of DSE. So they're absolutely in sync when it comes to microeconomics or macroeconomics, econometrics, political economy. All of these aspects are absolutely similar.
Correct. So there's just two courses which are compulsory and the rest are all optional depending on what else do you want to take. Okay, so that's
yes.
So that's great. And so Sejati, how many seats are there in your course?
Okay, so there are 21 seats. Like in my batch, there were 21 seats. It might have. So I think even in my junior batch, there are 23 students now. So I think that is the final number of seats, but I can't be very sure because I haven't attended college in a long time.
Oh, yeah, true that.
Yeah.
So that's quite a small number of students.
Yes.
So how does that translate to student life?
Okay, so that makes the interaction with professors very easy. So if you're looking for direct interaction with professors, if you're looking for letters of recommendation, if you're looking for any opportunity, be it a research assistantship opportunity, or like an overall, if you just want to go and talk to them, it makes it way easier than in a class of say 70 or 80 people.
Yeah.
It's more of like we have around 15 faculty for a class of 22 or 21. So the ratio you can understand is like, we have a lot of teachers to reach out to.
Okay, that's wonderful. That sounds nice. And how much of physical classes did you actually attend?
I attended only one semester because Corona struck in the second semester.
Oh no.
Yes.
And there are no plans to go back? I mean, you don't think that...
No, the second wave is here. We were supposed to have a final semester, but then everything got cancelled because the second wave is here.
Yeah.
So they just said it's not possible for us to do.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So how does this translate into, so it's been a complete, more or less online experience for you. So how do companies like look at you? They know that this batch is studied perhaps online, the course schedules changed, colleges started late, they're kind of trying to now finish the syllabus. So how do companies who come for placements view, a situation like this?
So I don't think they have viewed us any differently because right now all of the other econ batches are going through the same thing, right? So when it comes to placement, they can compare us with them. And it has been similar, but yeah, they have moved the entire process online, just like our classes. We used to have placements on campus. Now we have online placements. That is the only difference, right?
Okay. Wow, that's great. So how? So now it's been online placement. So since we started with placements, let's delve more into that. So how is the placement scenario in your college?
Okay, so as you can understand, we have very few students. So we merge our placements with CSP because CSP has around 100 students right now, and it gives the companies a bigger pool. And so we have had companies, we have banks, we have banks coming, we have data analysts coming, we also have policy firms coming in. So the thing is, in our class of 22, 4 people are placed with EXL right now. 2 people have been placed with IIP, which is a policy think tank. A few people have been placed with IPAC. So IPAC, I think that's a company which usually doesn't go to other universities, but IPAC has hired quite a few people. So 2 people have been placed in IPAC as well. And then there's the American Express, and all of these big banks are coming in. HSBC and American Express, they postponed their placement because of the COVID situation, and now they are coming in. So all of these are in the upcoming months.
Oh wow! So that's quite a high number. So how many of your peers decided to sit for placements? Like, you are so few of you.
Okay, so in our class, about 20 people have sat for placement. So CITD is basically like a placement-oriented center.
Okay.
So most of the students who sit for placements are from CITD. CSP has very few students. So in a class of 100, maybe around 10 people will sit for placements, or 20 people will sit for placements. So overall, we have a 40. Every year, we have noticed that about 40 people sit for placements in JNU.
Okay.
So that will be a 20 from CSP and a 20 from CITD.
Okay. All right. That's great. And if you could just tell our, all the students who are listening to you that, what are the average packages that companies are offering this year? And what are the kind
average
of
will be 8.
That, the companies hire you? What kind of work do they hire you to do?
Profiles are really varied this time because, we had IPAC, which is essentially a political analyst. Like so when you're hiring an econ grad, they'll want us to use our data skills. So there's that. They'll be using our data skills for political purposes. And then there are pure banks which are coming in, and the profile is data analyst. That will be EXL. Then there are policy think tanks which have to, there has to be a blend of both. Economic theory as well as data analysis will be used. So the profiles have been pretty varied this year. And also we have had placements with The Economist. So there your writing skill is a big thing. How well do you write? Right. So these profiles, a pretty varied mix of profiles are available. And the average package will be 8 lakhs per annum, I think, is the average package.
Is the average packages. So, and what is the system like? How do companies come? Is it a completely student organized thing? Like, you ask probably your seniors who have been from the college, you get in touch with them, and then it's a completely student organized thing, or is there institutional backing also to it?
No, so that is, I think, the major part. There is no institutional backing, so you can't depend on your professors or the administration to do anything. It is a completely student-driven process. So when our seniors, who were placement cell coordinators, they have a database, they pass it on to us. We add to it if we can. We pass it on to our juniors, and it goes on like that. But I would say there is also a huge alumni network, because most of the companies that have come in, they have come in through alumni. So that network is pretty strong, and that is leading to placement.
It's pretty similar. I mean, DSE had the same thing. We had a database which was passed on by our seniors, and we approached them.
Yeah, it's more or less like a same thing
in all colleges, I guess. Okay, that's great. So I can't ask you many questions about campus life, but if you can answer that, what is the campus like?
So the campus life is really amazing. I would say the first semester that I have spent there was everything that I had expected. So you have some expectations about what you'll get from campus, and that was multiplied by 10.
Oh wow!
It was that fun. Yes, it was that fun. So it's a very safe campus. I would say that for female students, it's a super safe campus. It's a campus that will make you feel unimaginably safe, and you are free to do what you want to do, when you want to do, whatever you want to do, and whatever you feel like doing. There's that. The food is great. I would say people should go there just for the food, because there are around 20 dhabas in that one campus because of the number of students, right? And every dhaba is specializing in one cuisine, whatever that is. It might be pakoras, it might be samosas. And there's that. And also our professors stay on campus. So there is also an interaction with professors beyond class hours. The biggest gain will be that there are a lot of seminars which are organized after 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So that's when the classes end. And that is when the real I wouldn't say real education starts, but that's where the real thing actually starts, like, it picks up.
According to your interest, and you can also do so many more things, like beyond what just the classroom course.
Yeah, so it's not just an econ professor who is going to take your class. It can be any professor. You can go and take a class with a labor studies professor if he's free and he's willing to offer you, which sometimes happens. Like from 5 to 6, maybe they just take a class at Tech Plus for students on a particular subject. So that's available.
That's really nice. And the campus also must be really nice for JNU.
Yeah, it's very thriving. It used to be very thriving. Now it's just deserted.
And so also I think students would be interested to know that for people who want to pursue higher studies, if they want to, do a PhD abroad, maybe, then how has been the experience of students with that?
Okay, so I would say for PhD, a letter of recommendation is very important.
Yes.
And for that, a strong connection with your faculty is very important. And that is something which CITD provides. Like I mentioned, you have so many faculties and you have around 20 students who are going to go for a PhD. Because masters may also, like, honestly, in a class of 20 to 20 are sitting for placements. So you have just a couple of students. Let's assume that 10 get jobs and 10 will sit for placement. So it becomes easier for the faculty to coordinate among themselves, divide up the student load and write proper letters of recommendation for everyone. And the faculties have also done their PhDs from abroad. So all of our faculties have done PhDs from abroad. So they have that connection to build up.
Correct.
If I'm going to Purdue and if I reach out to my professor who has done a PhD in Purdue, then her guide is still there, right? So if she writes me a recommendation, then that just does a big, it goes in really positively for me when I go in front of the admissions.
Right. And as you said that, since faculties know you personally, that will go on long.
It's easier for them. Yes.
They can actually make a very personalized sort of letter of recommendation rather than a more general thing.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's good. And what about internships? Like, do people generally go in for internships?
Yeah, internships are available. There's the Exim Bank internship, there's the Wells and Fargo internship. So these internships are through the placement cell, or not the cell, I mean through your seniors who control the entire process. But then there are also other internships that people usually go for. So there's these, I think there's a Center for Policy Research in Delhi where a lot of our students intern. There are government internships that people go for. So it's more of like an individual initiative, I would say, because internships officially only 2 companies came this year, Exim and Wells and Fargo.
Okay.
So the other students did their internships on their own. It was more of like an individual initiative.
Okay, all right, fine. That is also standard across places. Like internship may not be 100%, but they do get the final placements.
Yes.
Okay, great. And what is the fees that you have to pay at?
Oh, so we don't have to pay fees, right? We just have to pay around 200 rupees. I don't even remember the amount that I paid. I think it was 186 for the first semester and something a little less for the second semester. So these are registration costs, and that's it. That's all you have to pay.
It's completely funded by the government.
Yes, and also if you score well, you get 700 rupees per semester if you're the Ford Foundation scholar. So that's something that students can aspire for. There's a lot of funding available. If you get good grades, you'll get money. They give you a lot of money.
Oh, wow. It seems amazing. That's really nice. Anything else if you would like to add, if you think I've missed out on anything about what students might want to know about CITD?
Okay, so I think students want to figure out the difference between CITD and CSP. I think the major difference will be that it is a more placement-driven cell, right? So if you really want to get a placement, it's easier.
Right.
Because here we have time series and econometrics, and these are the 2 courses which companies really fall back on when hiring.
Right.
And these courses are offered by CITD. So the CSP students take these courses from CITD. So that's the difference. That's I would say the major difference.
All right. So all in all, you're very happy with where you are.
Yeah.
I would have wished you to experience a little more of campus life, because after this it's all work, job. So, but anyways, you got a bit of it, so I'm happy about that, and I'm happy you felt safe in Delhi, because that's what a lot of students keep asking me, that Delhi nahi jayenge, it's not safe. But
No, but it's true. Yes, I think I didn't spend a lot of time outside at all, because you genuinely don't need to. You get everything. Even you get petrol inside, so that's fine. It's a city in itself.
it's a city in itself. That's so true.
Yes.
And even outside, I think I would just tell people that if you are not venturing out alone after 8, you are safe. It's
Yes.
just don't go out alone after 8. That's not something you need.
I think the campus that you have, I mean, for Delhi University, you don't have a protected campus area.
No.
But for this, you have a protected campus area. So you get fruits inside, you get vegetables inside, you get everything inside. So it's like, there's no point. Stay in.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time, Sejuti. I think that was really, really helpful. And all the best for your upcoming exams, for everything else in general. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
Thank you so much, Sejuti. See you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.